Welcome back. It's good to see you. Before we get started on this second part of the med school application series, like, subscribe, follow, and share. I appreciate it down to from the bottom of my heart that y'all are sharing my videos and subscribing and really commenting and engaging with me and letting me know what you need, because I'm trying to be the plug. All right, so let's get down to it. We're here to talk about your personal statement. I'm going to give you a couple of tips. I got my personal statement right here and got a couple notes that I've written down on what I think makes a really good personal statement. I got a lot of good feedback on mine when I applied a couple years ago. So I'm going to give you like the real meat to really help you share yourself with your admissions committees. First and foremost, you want to tell a story. That story is supposed to share with us how you have arrived here today, ready to apply to medical school, ready to be a lifelong learner. I'm about to say some key words. Ready to be a lifelong learner, ready to be the advocate for your patients, ready to be the voice for the voiceless. It's getting a little dramatic, but you get the point. Ready to be on the front lines of patient care, okay? These are all important things that we want to see as we read your personal statement, that you have been very thoughtful on your approach to choosing medicine. It's not just about the money. Please. It's not about the money. I mean, it can also be because your granddad and mom, whatever, did it, but there needs to be some real tie-ins with your life and why you feel that you have been called to pursue this calling, because it is lifelong. It is a commitment. It is sacrificial. You are going to lose things, right? You're losing time with family, because once you get into medical school, it's work, and it will weed out the people that are not doing this for the reasons that will fuel you forward. Okay, so that is what you want to tell. That's the story you want to tell of how you came to be in this place today. Okay, so number one, you want to tell a story. Super important, super simple, and to the point. You don't want your personal statement to look like a CV. So you're not out here trying to write down all your accolades and brag on yourself crazy. Okay, that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is to pick like 3 to 4 of your most significant moments and be able to use them to showcase your character, because you're not trying to spell out who you are. I am bomb. I'm that person that's about to be the best doctor in the whole world. No. You want to show that you pursued these different opportunities to not only gain the knowledge and the insight of what it will be like to be a physician, but that you were also able to see like, dang, this is how you truly care for a patient when they're dying. And this is how I can best attend to those needs. And I learned that from this. And this fueled me to continue to do other kind of opportunities like this, which taught me this and brought me here. You know what I'm saying? So I think the way that when I approach stories, I like chronology. Not everyone is like that, but I like chronology. I like to go in a chronological order. So when I did my personal statement, I started from childhood and ended at today. Like, now I'm standing here before you. This is who I am now. This is the decision that I have made to devote my life to this path. So you don't want it to look like a CV. Pick 3 to 4 significant moments in your life that have really changed the way that you look at the world and have made you realize that this is the place, this is the position that you need to have the impact that you would like to see in this world and just in the lives of your patients. It's not easy to humbly brag about yourself, but this is the opportunity to do that. This is the opportunity to show the readers who you are. So it's really important that you tell a story. Don't make it look like your CV, because you're going to have the opportunity to do that later. Another point is that you want to grab their attention from the beginning. So make sure that whatever story you're telling to start it off with, whatever your introduction is, that it really grabs the attention of the reader. Because again, folks are reading hundreds of personal statements throughout the course of the application cycle, and you want to make sure that you are giving it something that makes yours unique and that makes yours stand out, that like, oh, wait, let me read more about that. I want to hear more about that. I can say for me, I was a little extra. There are different thoughts on this, but I had great feedback on mine, because you want to help people visualize what you're saying. Again, I'm a photographer, so I really think about things visually. I used my photography in my personal statement. I think my starting line was like, I view the world in this like detailed fashion, and I can view them in like snapshots. So make sure that you really try to grab their attention from the beginning. And even while I talk about the introduction, I always got to bring in that conclusion. You want it to be full circle. So maybe there was one moment in your life where you're like, whoa, yeah, I'm going to become a doctor. And maybe it was like you were shadowing a physician, or you were on a global health mission trip. As I walked down the road, I saw this girl limping, and I went to assist her. And, you know, as I helped her, we ended up being able to find a doctor. And as I watched that doctor take care of her, something just clicked in me that this is the position that I want to be in. Yes, I can help that person get to the room, but I want to be the person in the room waiting to receive them and help them get care. And that has really dictated the rest of my life. And then you go and share the rest of your life. And you bring it back to, just like I had a hand in assisting that person to receive care, I now want to have a hand in this way. So you still brought that little clip of whatever that story was in the beginning, you brought it back at the end, so it kind of was like I feel like peanut butter and jelly sandwich is just on my mind. Maybe I'm hungry because I feel like I said that in the last video. But you want to make sure that sandwich closes, you know what I'm saying? That you could like eat it without nothing spilling out, like they caught all the juice. So make sure that it comes full circle, that there's something that you bring back from the beginning that you tie in at the end to really close the story. So just as an overview, you want to tell a story. You don't want it to look like your CV. You want to pick 3 to 4 significant moments in your life that have really dictated your journey to medicine now, right? You want to make sure that you grab their attention in the beginning, give them something to visualize, whether you're giving them an image or you're describing a moment in your life or whatever. Make sure that the opener is an attention grabber, okay? And then make sure you bring that back at the end to seal the deal and make sure that it's a full circle. You want a full circle story, okay? Last but not least, I think this is enough to get you writing. Because again, then you can go ahead and kind of write down the 3 to 4 important things. Write down the actual experience. Write down how you felt in the moment, and write down what it taught you. And see if that can help you kind of flesh out the meat of your personal statement. Okay? I think that's the most important. You just got to get writing. And then to end it all, I think editing is the biggest piece. Write out as much as you can, right? Because the more you write, the more you have to edit. You have 5,300 characters to use for the personal statement for AMCAS. But you want to make sure that you are really editing your personal statement into this wonderful masterpiece. The main way that you make this a masterpiece is not only by writing everything down, but it's by how you go about the editing process, okay? So number 1, you have to make sure that you have someone who knows you well enough that can read it. If you don't have that person, don't worry about it. It's not gonna make or break you. But I think by having even like a friend who has kind of been on this journey with you, whether they were just around, not necessarily pursuing medicine either, but if you have someone that can kind of tell you like, didn't you tell me like that one experience like really changed your life? How come you don't talk about this? Or how come you don't talk about this? Having someone that can help you kind of generate those thoughts so that you can make sure that you're including the most powerful moments in your life. I think that's very important. That's what I needed. Well, I had to have one of my best friends be like, what, girl, you're not using that story about when you did this and this and this and this in college? What? And by having that help, like I really was able to fine tune the parts of my life that I shared. So I think that was like my number 1 thing that I think is really important. Because again, I think it's really hard for the normal person to brag on themselves. Like it's very hard for me to just be like, oh yeah, I'm all that in a bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very hard to do. So if you have someone that has been in your life long enough to kind of know things that you've been through and just experiences that you've had, try to have someone kind of look over it for you as well to make sure you're including the best things possible. If you don't have that person, just sit down and talk with a friend that you have right now, or your mom or whatever, someone that cares about you, and just talk to them about the 3 to 4 options that you picked. Maybe you wrote down 5 or 6. So you can talk it out, and then they'll have them ask you questions about those experiences and see what the ones are that you speak the most passionately about. I think that's really how you can help to hone in on the things that you might want to share. 2, try to have only like 2 to 3 people that are reading through your statement. I think that's very important. You do not have to take everyone's critique. Okay, so make sure when they are editing your paper that they're doing it in a suggestion mode, whether you use Google Docs or something like that, to track the changes so that you can accept and deny changes to your statement, because it is your story. So you want to make sure that it is your voice. And my last, and I think the most important thing that I tell people, is to read your statement out loud, because sometimes you can catch the errors, whether it's grammatical errors or errors in flow, because you want to make sure that you're transitioning from one paragraph to the next, and you can better hear it if you read it out loud. And read it with some passion, because again, it's your story. You're trying to tell your story so that you can get into the next step of your life to go where you want to go. So this is so important. Read your statement out loud, and this is to yourself. If I'm editing someone's statement, I'll have them read it out loud with me. And that really helps me to not only hear it in their voice and hear the inflections and the tones that they put on it, so then I can better point out the parts that are more emotional for them, and the parts that are more powerful and meaningful for them too. Remember, you're telling your story. You're not reading off your CV. You're sharing the moments in your life that have impacted you so much that you chose to make this commitment and to pursue this path, which is a difficult path. So I hope that was helpful for you. Again, play that back. If you missed some notes, write them down. Write as much as you can out on paper and then read it aloud. Get with the homie, let them help you out. If you have any questions, if you need any connections to try to find people that can help edit and read your papers, your personal statements, just comment below. I'm on this journey with you all right now too, as I'm applying to residency, but I hope that was helpful for you. It definitely was helpful for me. I got my little notes ready to write my own personal statement. But all right, that's all I got. Again, like, subscribe, share, follow me on Instagram. I'm on Twitter now too. Let's get connected. Let me be the plug. Let's get into medical school. I'll see y'all later. Bye.